All right, in addition to the presidential race, many of those folks that you were looking at there will be voting in a very important Senate race in this state. A lot of investors are looking at Senator Thom Tillis, who's fighting for his political life and currently polling below his Democratic opponent. And they're looking at it because this is one of the races that could help decide who controls the Senate next year. I spoke with the Republican senator earlier this afternoon, and we talked about the election in detail. Take a listen.
Today I'm here with businesses and meeting with businesses across the state who have benefited from the Paycheck Protection Program. It's important we hear their voices because we've got more work to do. Today is a success story, keeping people on the payroll, keeping business moving. I'll guarantee you the president would want me here talking with these businesses that we've still got to place as a priority and all the people they employ.
I want to talk about that PPP, which is something we've been at Fox Business very focused on over the last few months. I did notice that you're underperforming President Trump, though, in the polls here in North Carolina, head-to-head with your opponent versus how he's doing head-to-head with his opponent. Couple that with no speaking slot at the convention. Does that hurt your chances for re-election? Were you disappointed not to be included?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, again, the way we win this race is to show the sharp contrast between me and my opponent. My opponent criticized the Paycheck Protection Program while his home company was in the process of getting one. My opponent says he'll raise taxes. He's got a history of doing that. I've lowered taxes at the height of a recession when I was Speaker. He raised taxes at the height of a recession. He doesn't understand what it's going to take to get our economy back on track. That contrast does well for us. That's why we're going to win in November.
But are you in step with the most diehard kind of Trump supporters
in the
party?
I mean, we've got strong support. I was just on a phone call with a number of grassroots organizations earlier this morning. We're going to win the day. We're going to work hard to get the president reelected. We're going to get reelected and hold a majority in the Senate.
Now, you mentioned a few times the Paycheck Protection Program. That money came in. It helped businesses like this, helped them to keep workers on the payroll and not have to lay them off. But as you know, the money's come and gone for many businesses. Congress recesses without additional stimulus being provided. How did that happen in Washington?
Well, part of it is because Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi don't want to get anything done. They don't want to focus on the core issues that we need to have in the follow-up to the CARES Act. We've got a proposal for the Paycheck Protection Program extension and flexibility, simplifying forgiveness of the 120,000 businesses that got it in North Carolina and millions across the country, providing more funding for health care, more funding for education, more funding for vaccine, accelerating the vaccine approval. That's on the table. And I, for one, hope that we come back as early as next week and vote on that provision and see and really show Chuck Schumer, my opponent Cal Cunningham, and Nancy Pelosi for what they are. I don't believe that they want to provide the relief right now because they think it's a political win for them in November.
How important is the timing?
And that's a shame.
Do you think businesses like this would be in a lot of trouble if they don't get additional money quite soon and we could see some more layoffs?
We've absolutely got to provide additional resources for businesses. We have some businesses that were first into the crisis. They're going to be last out. Transportation, motor coaches, lodging, a lot of dine-in restaurants. Those are businesses that desperately need the follow-up to the CARES Act, and that's why I'm prepared to go up to D.C. and vote for it immediately.
All right, let me ask you about the Postal Service, which is another issue that we've been covering a lot lately. Louis DeJoy, the Postmaster General, has a home in North Carolina. He supported Republicans financially over the years, including yourself. With that established, do you support additional funding for the Postal Service? Where do you stand on that?
Yes,
debate?
I'm absolutely certain that in the CARES bill that we will have the funding the Postmaster General believes that he needs to fund operations. He's also focusing on efficiencies and making the post office better. The post office has had problems. Louis DeJoy was selected among 200 people in a nationwide search, unanimously approved by a bipartisan board of congressionally appointed board members for the USPS. He knows what to do to get it done. He also knows how to make sure every vote gets counted that goes by mail.
But to be clear, you think they have enough money already, or you think additional money is necessary?
We believe probably $10 billion. They had about a $10 billion shortfall that minimally that the post office needs that to shore up their operations and potentially have an additional loan from the treasurer, which can be done.
Finally, Senator, as I said, you're in a very, very close race for re-election. How's voting going to go in this state? North Carolina is actually the first state in the nation to begin voting, and doing so, if people want to do it by mail, on the 4th of September. Are you confident in that process? Are you encouraging people to vote by mail? Would you rather see them do it in person?
No, I absolutely hope that everyone will. Right now, a week ago Sunday, I requested my absentee ballots. I'll be voting by absentee. I've done it in the past. The president's voting by absentee in Florida. It's a trustworthy system.